Alright, today we're going to be reacting to a video by FTR is Rich. I tried Looksmaxxing as an average brown guy. It changed my life. Now, people who focus on Looksmaxxing, it is a mental disorder. It is a mental disorder to look at yourself in the mirror, to obsess over your looks. These are things you naturally wouldn't be doing, seeing as you could never actually see yourself in nature. This movement of Looksmaxxing has exploded. There are a bunch of influencers teaching you how to look better, and don't get me wrong, your looks are very important to how your life is going to go down, essentially. Your looks is the most important thing about you, seeing as they are inherently you, your genetics. I don't want people to think that I don't think it's important. It's very important. But what people don't understand is that largely there isn't much that you can do. If you've done techniques and you've seen improvements, then hey, all power to you. But for the most part, your looks are made by the food that your mom eats, the food that you eat from the ages of 0 to 15. By the time you learn about Looksmaxxing, you're likely too old, your bone structure has already ossified. There isn't much you can do other than just to get healthier, because when you're healthier, you will look better.
Today, I tried Looksmaxxing as an average brown guy. Us brown people are known to have the worst genetics out of...
Yeah, so brown people and their bad genetics isn't bad genetics. It's not a lottery and, oh, you just bingo happen to have gotten good genetics. It is specifically correlated to the food that you eat. And after the British colonized India, and a lot of them being vegans due to Hinduism, these people nearly do not eat any animal products. Very little consumption of meat, lots of grains, vegetables. These people will be very fat, these people will be deformed, short, and just plain out ugly. And that has nothing to do with genetics, that has everything to do with the environment that you're in and the food that you're eating.
All races. So let me explain. For the majority of my life, I've struggled with attracting the woman I want, and I always blamed it on things out of my control. But recently, I came across this term called Looksmaxxing, which basically means to maximize your looks, which also means the more sexier you look, the more chances of finally getting women. Looksmaxxing is basically looking good.
I like that he's honest, that the reason you do Looksmaxxing and the reason you improve your appearance for any reason whatsoever is to attract the other gender. There is no doing it for yourself or I go to the gym for myself. You don't do that.
But on an extreme level. So this got me excited and hopeful, and I decided to try out Looksmaxxing to see if it can actually help me become more attractive to women and finally maybe get a girlfriend.
Future RTF, this is a message straight to you. You better stick it out for the next few months. Alfred hasn't seen any putty in a few years. Alfred's been pretty dry. Please don't be chopped after the Looksmaxxing journey, because I'm tired of being alone and lonely. I need putty. Best of luck, future RTF.
I am on a mission to prove to you that even if you currently look like a 3 out of 10, you can implement good habits and actions that will take you to at least a 9 out of 10.
That would never happen, by the way. If you're a 3 out of 10, the most Looksmaxxing could do is maybe add a point or two. Again, this is by you getting healthy, getting sunlight, make sure you're eating raw meat. He showed a picture of a model, Chico Lachowski, who for his entire life has always looked good. And these are the moggers, but the moggers always looked good from birth, essentially, from childhood. Looksmaxxing is a viable practice, but at the same time could be used to cope and delude people into thinking that they can massively improve their looks when your bone structure is your bone structure. You can lose some body fat to help you reveal the bone structure you already have. Or from being very unhealthy, you can become very healthy and you might see a big difference. But for the most part, you are who you are, and that's okay. As long as you're not that ugly.
4 main pillars that I'll be focusing on during this Looksmaxxing journey. Number 1, face. So everything from the neck up. Number 2, body. Number 3, style. And number 4, finances. This is not just an
Yeah, let me just make money, because that's exactly what women are attracted to.
average Looksmaxxing video you've probably watched before. This is a full transformation from noob to Giga Chad. The face is probably the most important part of the Looksmaxxing journey, as it is the first thing people see. This is how my face looks before Looksmaxxing. Round jawline, terrible hairstyle, weird face structure, unclear skin that looks like road bumps, untrimmed facial hair, no contrast in face attributes, and just an unpleasant and ugly face to look at. Chopped! So I got to work. The first thing I decided to work on is my hairstyle. A regular Indian comb over ain't gonna cut it. It's literally the basic default preset that every brown guy starts with. And having a good hairstyle is a big deal that can make or break how attractive you look. So I experimented with different hairstyles that fit my head shape.
For the haircut, he just shows an attractive man already.
I tried long hair, but it made my head look too big from the back. You know, like one of those bubble heads that just boom, boom, ring, 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 ring. I tried short hair, but it made me look like a little boy. I also tried this weird lesbian cut. I don't know what I was trying to do. I was trying to go for a slick back because I saw Robbie from Cobra Kai pull it off. And I thought like I could look like him. But it just ended up looking like I have autism. But after ages of experimenting...
The hair is important, but when your face, your bone structure looks good, it really doesn't matter much when it comes to the hairstyle that you have. You can have long hair, you can have a buzz cut as long as your hairline isn't horrible. But if your face looks good, as long as you have hair, you're not bald, as in you can't even see the follicles of your head, it shouldn't really matter that much.
Found out the perfect hairstyle for me. As you can see, your boy looks fly as hell, therefore making the hairstyle aspect of Looksmaxxing a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, the haircut for sure looks a lot better on him.
Also decided to try some sea salt spray, and it was one of the best decisions for my hairstyle. Next, I focused on obtaining clear skin by reducing oil production on my face. Sebum, and I'm not talking about daddy sebum, I'm talking about sebum, which is basically face oil. Sebum is the main reason for acne, and it's caused by many things like bad diet, processed food, stress, and bad hygiene. I also found out
when your diet is perfect, you don't even need to worry about your hygiene. You can sweat all over your face, you can not shower for days. It really comes down to what he just said. Poison from your diet and shitty dieting altogether.
certain foods are big triggers to acne, like whey protein, dairy, seed oils, and I tried to also completely avoid processed sugars, but that was easier said than done. I also consistently wash my face twice a day to remove extra oil production, because that's what actually clogs my pores, aka acne breakouts.
Yeah, your face will break out from your sweat if the sweat that you sweat out is toxic, which it would be if you're eating a standard diet, even a healthy diet with rice, potatoes, some lean chicken and broccoli. The sweat would still be toxic.
And after a workout, I always rinse my face with water. Also, here's something that I tried that I didn't realize could make such a big difference, and it's a secret, so I'm just gonna tell you. I focused on obtaining a contrast with my skin tone, using items that will stand out on my face, like silver glasses, whitening my teeth, and a shiny silver earring and necklace was a cheat code to looking more attractive. This actually took me a while to figure out because no one ever mentions it, but having items that you can contrast with your skin tone gives you that rich, majestic look. Also, the easiest way to get shiny white teeth that I tried is to stop drinking colored drinks like Coke, chai, beta chai pilo, energy drinks, and all these sugary processed drinks, because they just stain your teeth and make it worse.
Sugar in general is what bacteria will feed off of in your mouth, especially if you consume a lot of it. When you're on a ketogenic diet, raw meat diet, you don't even have to brush your teeth, and your teeth are always white, seeing as there's no sugar for the bacteria to feed off of.
I only drank water and actually used these teeth whitening strips. This right here helped me get whiter teeth.
For a long period of time, you don't want to be doing that.
Not get overwhelmed because there's so much I have to improve, but I stayed focused on improving everything one step at a time. I also got inspiration from 21 Savage.
And getting inspiration from, well, we can see how he looks like.
Yeah, that rapper, and saw how he has a really attractive and stylish mole, so I copied him. I basically bladed the top of my mole, and I also grew out a little French beard to complement that mole. I'd even contemplated getting an eyebrow slit. Does losing fat actually give you that sharp jawline? Which
obviously, especially if you're overweight. Losing any weight is going to make you look better, seeing as an overweight body is not a natural body. You, by eating your natural foods, will stay at the natural weight that your body wants to be at. It could also be a lot of salt. I don't recommend salt at all. And processed sugars that are going to blow your face.
Which is the body. So we are trying to optimize every part of ourselves as we possibly can to look the most attractive. Giga Chad, alpha male.
I like how he shows Giga Chad as this fucking roided up drug addict. And this is the guy everyone's supposed to look up to.
That takes the longest but has the best results. I went on a mini car and did 20 minutes of cardio every day, which wasn't easy.
No need to do that to stress out your body, age your body, increase the likelihood of a heart attack when you could just eat raw meat. But again, I don't expect this guy to know this. This is just the reality we're in. Do cardio to lose weight, eat vegetables, lean meats. Bro.
It was about 9 months of chicken breast and broccoli.
And it was all hard calories. It was a lot of chicken breast.
Eat boiled chicken breast every 2 hours, but that's how you get that body.
It was copious amounts of chicken breast.
I actually noticed a big difference. I got hollow cheeks and my jawline magically appeared. Yay! I started to take the gym serious.
And again, it's not like you need to look like you work out. Women are attracted to your face and your height. Trying to get into the gym is a way of coping. Tall and attractive people don't go to the gym. There's no need for them to. Seeing as a natural woman isn't attracted to the size of your chest or the size of your arms. I've never heard that ever. It's only short and ugly people who try to cope to go to the gym. It's either you didn't grow tall enough, so you do your best to grow wide enough.
To build muscle and put on size. I focused on a training style called hypertrophy or HIIT, where you basically progressively overload, which means increasing the weight every time you step into the gym, and you go to maximum failure, where you're fully breaking down the muscle, so then next time you enter the gym, your muscle is twice the size.
So you lower all your testosterone and crush your libido. Right.
And I also want to get bigger, so I'm actually currently on a bulk and started to eat clean
Fucking croissants, dude.
foods so I can put on muscle ASAP and focus.
You want to put on muscle? Eat raw meat. Make sure you're drinking raw milk, seeing as it's the most anabolic food you could possibly eat, and eat raw organs. Doing this for even 6 months will let your body look as attractive as possible, meaning as natural as possible, without having to eat croissants? What the fuck was that?
On getting 8 hours of sleep every day so my muscles can recover quickly. Now that I've looksmaxxed my face and body, I can't go outside looking like a circus clown, which brings us to the next pillar, style. I realized that I started to look like someone who didn't even put effort into their appearance. And also one day I was at a party and a girl told me that I dressed like an old uncle, so that was a big slap in the face. Ever since then, I wanted to dress well, as it's such an attractive trait when somebody can look stylish.
It's not an attractive trait. It might be an attractive trait to someone who is a stylist or is brainwashed by these very same means. But when you're looking at attractive people, a model, like I mentioned, Chico Lachowski, could be dressed like an uncle like he was at this party, and the girl wouldn't give a shit. Most ugly people will try and convince themselves that clothing and money and having a muscular body is going to increase the attraction you gain from women. But in terms of the desire, the lust that you want from a woman to secure her genuine love, these things aren't going to do fuck all.
To actually learn how to dress well, as it is a skill, I researched some rappers and celebrities and basically just copied their outfits.
Yeah, just copy Hollywood fucking brainwashing. Regardless of the pants he wear, the shoes, the chain, the glasses he put on, which I think makes him look worse, the earrings, you are still the same person. Look to the side, look backwards. It's still you. The clothes don't mean a damn thing.
And I actually went down to the thrift stores and bought items that look similar to the outfits I saw on the internet. Avoid being the guy that puts so much effort into himself but is okay with being in the same financial position 5 years, 10 years from now as he is today. You might not agree, but money literally runs the world.
Yes, money runs the world because the people who put it in place want it to be that way. We don't have much of a choice. You could either play the game or escape it. There are ankle weights at your feet that keep you tied down to the matrix, in a manner of speaking. Money isn't real. Money will never fulfill you, regardless of how much you have, seeing as nothing unnatural can fulfill our natural needs. Do you want enough money to buy food, to take care of the people around you? Of course you do. I just hope that when you're making money, or when you understand money is used as a tool to do these things, that it no longer controls you. And now you know what to use it for.
Without money, you and me are nothing. Money buys you your time on this earth, which is the greatest asset in life. Money buys you freedom. Money buys you happiness. You see, while I was researching
money is a tool you can leverage in this modern society. Nothing more.
Looksmaxxing and the community around it, I realized that Looksmaxxing itself is a really selfish, shallow, validation-driven idea, where you try to look your best so you can get the validation from men and attraction from women.
Yeah, that's kind of the whole point. It's ridiculous now how he had a whole 9-minute segment of him trying to Looksmaxx and then end off on it being selfish, which there is nothing ever wrong with being selfish, but he also ties it in with superficial and shallow. Your looks are the most inherent thing about you. They are you. If anything, working on your looks, which is really just becoming healthier, is the most profound thing you can do to yourself. And it may actually help you attract a partner. You may get validation or natural respect from other men, seeing as maybe you have a better body, your face looks a little bit better. I'm not saying the results are going to be astronomical, but they will help. But this sounds like he's trying to appeal to the masses. Hey guys, don't do it. It's selfish and it's shallow. Shut up. It is the whole purpose of your existence to find a mate, to create children, to be happy eating your natural foods. And that all comes from how you look like, how well developed you are. This guy's pissing me off.
But I believe if we truly want to looksmax, we should do it for the benefit of those we love, to become the best versions of ourselves, to help people we care about. I want to looksmax not just for me, but also to improve the people's lives around me. I want to looksmax to become the best quality husband for my future wife, so that I can help her quit her job to take care of our kids, instead of sending them to some daycare for some stranger to look after.
Nice touch.
Looksmax to make money so I can retire my parents, so that they can enjoy the rest of their lives.
Okay, I got a little corny there at the end, so I just skipped it. As I mentioned before, your looks will determine your life. Your height will determine your life. Thinking that it won't is complete cope, and I think it makes for a very sad existence when you don't realize that that is exactly the case. Trying to looksmax is a well worth it endeavor, especially if you're pretty ugly, especially if you're pretty unhealthy. Like I said though, the results won't be astronomical. If you're good looking all your life, then you've always been good looking. For the most part, you are who you are from the diets your parents ate, what they fed you during your childhood, and what you ate during puberty. After the age of 18 even, most things are set in stone. The best thing you can do is find someone at your looks level and with the knowledge of living naturally, as in you give your kids the best food, raw liver, raw milk. You make sure they get a lot of sunlight so that they themselves could look much better once they're your age. That is the best thing that you can do. That is the biggest gift that you can give your kids, is the gift of health. What looksmaxxing has become seems like a bit of a mental disorder. It's like it comes from social media, mirrors everywhere we are, the ability to just look at ourselves always. But all in all, the guy does look better. I'm glad he looks better. Likely because he got a little bit healthier. It wasn't really a looksmaxxing video, it was more of a self-improvement, get your style right, get your money right, all these little things that don't matter in the realm of attracting a partner. But it was actually a pretty entertaining video. A little bit of brain rot when it came to the editing, but I think it's trying to appeal to a younger audience. But he's a small YouTuber, so if he watches this video, I would tell him to start eating raw meats from a healthy source. Make sure he's drinking a lot of raw milk if he can tolerate raw milk, and to get a lot of sunlight and to chill the fuck out, as most people I think need to do nowadays. Anyways, thanks for watching. Take care.